Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. I know I've been gone for like 2 months and I wish I could explain, but it was just so much going on. So I feel like I've neglected the channel just a little bit. So I do feel bad, but we're here, we're back. I know that summer is close to an end, but I wanted to show you guys something that Saviland had sent to me. They sent me an airbrush. So for today's video, we will be using the airbrush. So this was the packaging for the airbrush, and then also they sent over the gel nail polish that goes in the airbrush. So here I'm just unpackaging, opening the box. This came with some spoolies. I'm not sure what they're for. That's the nozzle for the airbrush. It also came with, I don't know what it's called. Oh my god. So I'm assuming it's a battery pack for the airbrush. I don't know what it's called. I really don't know. I'm trying to figure out the name for it, but honestly, I don't know. Okay, so that is the nozzle top to put on that's the fluid cup to put in the nozzle so that you could pull the trigger for the airbrush. It also came with a USB-C cable, and I had to remove the stuff that it came so that I could see if there's anything on the bottom, because I know sometimes they be hiding stuff on the bottom. These, I wasn't sure what they were originally, but they are to pop the gels when you have to open them. I'm going to show you guys later in the video. And it came in different colors. It had orange, lemon yellow, medium sea green, vibrant blue, vibrant purple, pinkish purple, fury red, rose pink, light nude, white, and black. What I like about this is that you don't have to dilute them with acetone, because I know that there's people that complain about it's not good to mix the gel polishes and the acetone, so I'm kind of happy that this instance that you don't have to do that. So these are the instructions for the airbrush. Once you get it, or if you do get it, you can read them at your own will. Here I'm just unboxing, well, not unboxing, but I'm just taking everything out just to set it up, so you'll see how I set it up. The battery pack was kind of hard to open, well, to turn on rather, for some reason or another. I'm not sure why. So here I'm just taking out the nozzle to put it in the battery pack. All you're doing is just taking it and then you're twisting it, making sure it's not too tight, but tight enough. I had to open that and then put the fluid cup right there. Just twist it in there. I wish I could. Oh.
Have you ever had a dream that you had.
I wish you guys could hear how it sounds, but I had music playing in the background and I didn't want to get copyrighted, so sorry. I'm just untwisting the top just so you guys could see what it's looking like, the amount of space that it has in there. So I'm just going to be prepping my nails. This is a mini sanding band, and then I'm going to be using my Melody Sue's nail drill to file off anything that was on my nails. So essentially I'm just prepping my nails. This is my dust collector that I got from Amazon. I'll link it somewhere on the screen so you guys could see. Here I'm just removing anything that I had left from the last set that I had on and buffing out the nails. So here I'm just using a football bit, I believe. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments, but I believe that is a football bit. I'm just opening up the cuticle area, and then once I'm done, I'm going to nip whatever dead skin that's left. These nippers, I got them off Shein, but they're super sharp. So make sure if you guys are cutting off whatever dead skin, make sure you guys are really careful with it. I don't want you guys to cut yourselves. Or if you are comfortable doing it, if you're not comfortable doing it, you don't have to do it. You could just spray alcohol and just wipe it off with a brush. because you're not really required to do it. You could do it at your own discretion, but it's a personal preference. So I had used the other side of the cuticle pusher to clean under my nails, but I had ended up cutting my nails because I was like, it looked better with my nails cut, and I was gonna add tips on it anyways. Not like I was gonna do an overlay. These are the tips I'm going to be using for this nail design today. So these are the Tomika no file nail tips. This is in the shape long almond. Here I'm just showing you guys how strong the tips are. They're flexible on the bottom, and then on the top is durable. Here I'm just sizing out the nails, making sure that they fit sidewall to sidewall. I was looking at it, I was like, I didn't know if the 0 was gonna fit my finger or if it was gonna be the 1 that's gonna fit my finger. I ended up choosing the 0. So after that, I'm just showing you guys what the box looks like, and then I'm gonna size my nails, and I'll be back. I'm just using the same mini mandrel bit to etch the inside of the nails. I personally like to etch outside the nails because it prevents heat spikes, so I like doing that. To apply the tips to the nails, I'm using the Beetles nail glue. If you want to be on the expensive side, you could use Appraise. I've used Appraise before and I love it. And I also love the Beetles one because I also love it. But just for today, I'm going to be using the Beetles nail glue. To prime my nails, I'm using the Appraise primer. And I'm going to apply it to all 10 of my fingers. To flash cure, I'm going to be using the Appraise Omni Light. So to apply the tips to the nails, you're going to take a glob of the nail glue. You're going to apply it to the end of the nails. Add the amount that you need. You know, it's a win-win situation with this sometimes. So I turned on the Omni Light, and then at a 45-degree angle, you're going to slowly press down on the nail until it reaches to the free edge, and then you're going to flash cure for 10 to 15 seconds. And then I'm just going to continue doing the same process to all 10 of my fingers. So again, you're slowly putting it at a 45-degree angle and you're slowly pressing it down to the free edge, and then you're going to flash cure for 10 to 15 seconds. And if there's anywhere you have to clean, you could clean them off. Don't use your hands, guys. Don't be paying attention to me. Use a brush. Once you're done flash curing, you're going to put your hand under the lamp, cure your entire hand for 60 seconds. Once I'm done curing, I'm going to be using my 5-in-1 bit to remove any glue residue that was on my nails, and I'm also going to be sealing the cuticle as well. So while I'm filing, I just want to tell you guys that I do apologize for not saying anything for the past 2 months. I just had so much stuff going on. I didn't feel like anybody would care anyway because it's only like 500 of y'all here, so I didn't feel like I had the need to really say anything. But I do kind of apologize because I know I try to be consistent, but sometimes the consistency is not consistency. It's not even English, but I'm trying to do better with the page. I do enjoy doing nails, so I'm trying. So these are how the nails look after I use the 5-in-1. So here I'm just using the small mandrel bit to buff out the nails. And then here I'm using an 80/80 file to shape the nails. I'm not going to do a lot of shaping to it because the tips are already pre-shaped. I'm just trying to lightly filing it. I'm not doing nothing crazy. Yo, y'all see how the file is trying to play me? That's crazy. And these are how everything look. With 70% isopropyl alcohol, I'm just using that to just wipe off all the dust off my nails. I'm going to put a link to that brush in the screen somewhere. And then here I'm just using 100% acetone to blend the tips to the nails. Anything that I haven't mentioned, let me know in the comments if I missed it, and then I'll reply to you guys, or if I do remember, I'll put it up on the screen. And then I also buff the nails just to give it like a smooth surface when I have to polish. The white stuff that's under the nails is because of the alcohol, so don't worry about that. For base color, I'm going to be using DND Picnic for 2. The number, it's DND 878. And I'm also using Dirty Dancer. It's DND 881. I'm just adding 2 coats of Picnic for 2, and I'm adding 1 coat of Dirty Dancer. So here I'm just applying the Picnic for 2 polish. This is how I usually apply polish. I don't know if I'm doing it correctly. Mind you, I'm like almost 3 years into doing nails. If you guys do see that I'm doing something wrong, do not hesitate to tell me that I'm doing it wrong so that I could do it correctly. All right. And also remember that in between each coat that you're curing for 60 seconds under the UV lamp. Alright, now we are moving on to design. For the French tip color, I'm going to be doing a butter yellow or like a pastel yellow. So I'm going to be mixing buttercorn or corn butter by DND 746 and snowflake by DND also, which is DND 448. So here I'm just doing the French tips. I don't know if I should explain how I do the French tips, but I usually do 2 lines, like a little triangle on the edges of my nails. Maybe I'll try to point it, like put an arrow, and then I just try to connect it. I don't know what other way to explain it, but maybe I should have slowed down the video, but I guess it's too late for that now. But yeah, that's how I usually do my French tips for the most part. But doing French tips are literally trial and error. Yeah, it's a hit or miss with French tips. While you're doing the French tips, make sure you clean up the sides. Here I'm just doing the French tips again, just showing you guys how I do it. It's kind of sped up, so hopefully you guys could probably slow down the video if you guys want to see how I actually do it. But for the sake of like time, I don't want to keep having like hours and hours of videos going on. But if you guys want hour-long videos, I could do that for y'all if y'all want, so just let me know. If the way I had tapped my fingers like that and French tips could appear like that, that would be great. I'm not even gonna lie. Alright, so here I'm gonna be adding the gel into the airbrush. This is not the color I'm gonna be using on my nails, but this is just me trying to test it out. So well, look at me being dumb, trying to see if it's gonna close with it, and of course make a mess. Excellent work. So, but I cleaned it up. So I'm gonna be adding the gel into the airbrush. I'm just testing out to see if it actually works, because I was just curious to see if it was actually working. I've seen people not put the top back on the what's that thing called? I forgot the name. I don't usually people see the top. I just see them just leave it there and let it thing. But yeah, so yep, the airbrush is working, so I was happy about that. Just still testing out on different parts of the paper to just make sure that it was working. So this is the color I'm going to be using for the nails to do like an aura effect. I'm going to be using the rose pink. Again, I'm just going to pop it open with that. And then once I take it out, it's going to make a mess. I don't know how to like not make it make a mess, but it's gonna make a mess anyway. So I had cleaned out the airbrush, and then I put the color in there. So just so y'all know, this was my first time using an airbrush, and of course I read the instructions, and of course I did my own thing. So I had to redo that over. I did it too close, and I forgot that they said to do it as far as possible. I don't remember how many feet, but they did say I had to do it far away, and I went and did my own thing, so that was on me. I just cleaned it up with alcohol and a lint-free wipe. I'm gonna link the lint-free wipes somewhere on the screen or put it in the description somewhere. So now we did it far away. See, we're doing better. Look at that. I like the what you call it, eyeshadow effect too, but this is easier for me. I'm not even gonna lie. And then I'm gonna be doing aura nails on the ring finger and the middle finger. So with the brush and acetone, I just cleaned up the sides just to make sure that I didn't have any of the gel polish on my fingers, so that I don't get any gel allergies. So once you're done, you have to make sure that you cure it for 90 seconds under the big lamp. So on the ring finger, I'm doing this abstract. I don't know if it's considered as abstract, but it's some kind of abstract nail. I'm gonna put up the inspo picture. I did a first attempt on doing them and I had to take it off, but if y'all like, let me know if the first attempt was good. But I didn't like them, they were too thick for me. So I just took some alcohol, put in a lint-free wipe, and wiped them things off because I did not like it. So we had to do that again. What's that song by Aaliyah? And first you don't to see, first you don't to see. This is something we try again. So here I'm just doing the second attempt of the design. Yeah, let me know what this design is called because I have no clue. I just call it like an abstract design. I don't know. I'm not sure. So let me know what it's called, please, and thank you. Not perfect, but you know, I did what I can. So, and then I'm gonna cure it under the lamp for 60 seconds. I'm gonna be using the Macart Solid Blue Gel to do the 3D flowers. I'm not gonna really explain what I'm doing. I'm just gonna show you guys what I'm doing. I didn't really like the flower, if I'm being completely honest. I feel like I could have done a better job with the flower, but me with flowers is always a hit or miss. I'm gonna even try to put a photo of flowers that I attempted to do. Like I seen the inspo picture on Pinterest that I saw, and I'm gonna put it up and show y'all how I recreated it. But man, me and flowers is like, it's like a hit or miss. And I know I'm not supposed to be using my bare hands to on the gel, but not too much, please. So this is how the flower looks after molding it. And with the same color that I used on the French tips is the color that I'm using to color in the flower petals. I've seen a lot of people draw the flowers on the nail first and then they add the 3D gel, but with me, stuff like this is a hit or miss. Like one day it'll come out good and then the next time is like I'm gonna try to do it again and it come out crazy. So I'm gonna try it one day in a video. If it's a fail, it's a fail. If it's good, then hip hip hooray, I guess. This is how the flower looks after coloring it in. I feel like I should have left some space in between the flower, but I'm telling you, it's always a hit or miss with the flowers. I'm going to be using the airbrush again in the middle of the nail to add like a little aura effect on it. This is the top coat I'm going to be using. This is the D&D DC 900 top gel. I'm going to be adding top coat on the thumb, index, ring finger, and pinky. I'm going to be using the Macart rhinestone glue to add the caviar beads on the flower, and then also I'm going to do the 3D lines on the fingers that I added top coat on. The liner brush that I used, I'm going to add it on the screen somewhere so you guys can see where I got it from. And using the flash cure lamp, I'm gonna cure it for about like 5 or 10 seconds, and then I'm gonna do 3D lines on the other side of the nails as well. So let me tell y'all, right? So right after I used the airbrush for the flower, I don't know if it's a user error. The airbrush ended up breaking. I don't know what happened. It was working literally just fine. It could have been a user error. It could have been on my end that I broke it. But yeah, the airbrush broke for some reason or another. Because I was trying to turn it on. It wasn't turning on. Where it says the low, it just kept flashing. So it didn't turn on. I charged it, it wasn't charging. So yeah, I don't know what happened. So I was kind of upset because I was like, I was gonna use it again because I liked it. It was working just fine. I didn't have a problem with it, but for some reason or another it broke. So I'm kind of sad about that. So with adding the caviar beads on the nail, I didn't even bother getting a rhinestone picker. I just pressed the glue on the bottle of the rhinestone glue and just picked it up with that because brother, it was already getting late already and I was just ready to go to sleep. So, and then to top coat the nails, just added rhinestone glue. Top coat. You see, I was tired. I added rhinestone glue. Wow, I keep doing it. I added top coat. And then once I'm done, I just filed the edges of the nails to make sure everything was crisp. And then I sprayed my hand with alcohol to clean up everything. And then I added cuticle oil. This cuticle oil, I got it from some vendor from a fair. These are the results of the nails, guys. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys like them or don't like them, or if you feel like there's room for improvement, let me know. And if you guys feel like I've earned it, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Something